అలవాటుగా So good morning, everybody. So this is Ganesh. So now I try to share my screen. Okay. In the last class, we are discussing about. In the last class, we are discussing about uh, what is ER model and what are the main symbols are used in the ER diagram. Okay. And what are the additional constraints? What are the additional constraints are used in the ER diagram? So after that, we are discussing about important queries like maybe how we are using the order by, how we are using the group by, okay, and how we are using the joins. Am I right? So today we try to discuss about the. Okay, I hope my voice is audible to everyone, and my screen is also visible to everyone. Okay. Okay. So please just wait 1 minute. Okay. I hope last class we are discussing about ER diagram, but in the exam point of view, it is very important. Okay, so please try to take care about the ER diagram. So we try to practice some examples. So for example, maybe we try to practice how we are draw the ER diagram for hospital, how we are drawing for the ER diagram for university. Like that, we try to practice some examples. Okay, today we try to discuss about the additional features. Okay, are constraints. So additional features of the ER model we try to discuss today. So in the last class also we are discussing about that. So in the case of additional features, so mainly we are focused on to the first of all. So we try to represent the key constraint. So how we are representing the key constraint actually? So in the how we are representing the key constraint. So in the case of attribute, here we are representing with the underline. So that means it is a primary key or key attribute. So the main purpose of that attribute is uniquely identifies the data from the database. Am I right? Okay. And another thing is a relationship instance. In the last class also we are discussing about that. So just to try to revise once again. Okay, and we are using different types of symbols. I'm right. So this is the strong entity. So when we are representing the rectangle with the solid lines, so only single line, so it will be represent the strong entity. What it means? So when we are representing the entity is like this, so that means it is having the primary key. And what is the where is the primary key, how we can identify that? So in the attribute, here we are representing with the underline. I'm right. So in this table, student is a one entity. So we also know about what is an entity. So entity is a thing or object in the real world. Okay. So if you are consider one entity, so if that entity is having the attributes, so we can consider it as an entity. Student is an entity. Why? Because student having so many attributes: student age, student name, student number. So like this. So if you are observing here, student ID, stu ID, having the underline, so that means it is a primary key. Okay. And here we are representing the dashed lines of the ellipse. What it means? Derived attribute. So that means if we are giving the value in the date of birth, then it will be automatically calculating the what is the age today. Okay. And another thing is the student name. So it will be represents with the normal line. Am I right? So that means it is normal attribute. That means non-prime attribute. It is a prime attribute or primary key or key attribute or key. Okay. So all these are the nothing but it is a terminology actually. Okay. Please try to remember this. Okay. And another thing here, if you are representing the double lines for the ellipse, so what it means? It is a multi-value attribute. So that means this attribute consider more than one value. So that means, for example, if we are giving the student number, so we can give our parent number, so student number, mother number. Am I right? So that means more than one value is giving here. So in the same way, in some type of situations, we consider the composite attribute also. So that means student name having the two parts: first name, last name. So please remember this these types of attributes. So in the exam point of view, may be asking the question. So first of all, one question is asking one ER diagram. So some data is given For example, maybe some students are there, those students are enrolled into the particular course, and this course is conducted by some instructor. So like this. So according to that given data, we try to draw one ER diagram. So maybe that is the first part of the ER diagram, ER data model. Second part of this question is, so what are the additional features of ER model? So like maybe, so now whatever it may we are discussing now. So what is a key attribute, what is a relationship instance, what is a participation, okay, and what is relational cardinality, and in the last class also we are discussing about that reports relationship, okay, reports relationship, and some other features are also there. So we try to discussing about that now, okay. So if you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me in the during the class, or maybe you can asking me separately, no problem, okay. So all these are the important things when we are representing the ER diagram. We should be represent like this. So that means here this is a key attribute, and this is the relationship. And relationship is also having one attribute. So which type of attribute it is? It is a descriptive attribute. So why? Because it will be notes the or records the information about the employees and departments relationship. So here the relationship is works in. So that means particular employee works from in which year to the which year in that particular department. Okay. And here we are considered the binary relationship, reports relationship, ternary relationship. Okay. So these type of things are we are already discussed in the last class. This is the second one. So previously I mentioned about that. Please try to remember. So one of the additional key features is, first one is key constraint or key attribute. Second one is relationship instance. So that means here we are consider one employee entity set, okay. And another thing, so this is the relationship. So that means these two diagrams are the same. These two diagrams are same, please observe once. So this is the employees entity, and this is the department's entity. Okay, this entity is having some attributes. For example, employee ID, like maybe SSN or name, lot. In the same way, department is also having some ID and department name and budget. So how much of budget or amount is needed? Okay, next one is the relationship. So relationship name is works in and since. From, so from in which time? Okay, maybe he is working in that particular department. So now this is considered as an entity set. So what it means? Entity set means collection of similar entities. We already discussed in the last class, okay. So what is the meaning of entity set? So when we are collecting the similar types of entities, so that can be referred as an entity set, okay. So now in this entity set, number of employees are there. In the same way, it is a relationship set. So in this we are collecting the similar relationships. In the same way, departments also having the department entity set. So now I try to observe clearly, okay. So this is an entity set, employee entity set, and this is the relationship set, and this is the department entity, okay. Now in this entity set, number of employees are there, okay. Hello, 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 is it my voice is audible? Hello, hello, please respond through chat box. So may I continue? Is it my voice is audible? Please give me one message through chat box. May I continue my session now? Please respond anyone. May I continue my session? Yeah, thank you. Okay. Uh, Thank you. Okay, so this is an employee entity set, and this is the department entity set, and this is the relationship entity set. So now in this entity set, number of employees are there, and each and every employee relationship is maintained or recorded in the this relationship. Okay, so here we are using the attribute is since. Am I right? Okay. In some type of situations we are using from to also. Okay, so whatever it may be, if it is a relationship attribute, it will be records the information about the two entities. Okay, so now if you are observe here, so 1232236 employee works in the 51 department from 1191. Okay, in the same way, so 5368 employee so works in the 51 department from 3393. At the same time, he is working in the 56 department also from 2 to 92 92. Okay, so if you are observe here, so this is the total participation. So that means what it means, so all each and every employee having the participation. Am I right? So that's why it will be represented the total participation. In the same way, so departments also having the association with each and every entity, any one of the entity. Okay, so this is also total participation. So that means, so this one is total participation and this one is total participation. What it means, many to many. Okay, and we try to discuss about the second one, ternary relationship. So up to now what we are discussing now, so first one is the key attribute, and second one is the relationship instance, and third one is the ternary relationship. What it means, ternary relationship means nothing but here we are consider the three entities with the relationship set. So that means this is also same diagram, but here we are consider the another entity. So that means, for example, maybe that employee works in different locations in that particular department from particular time to the time. So that type of information is also recorded in the since. Okay, so if we are here representing like this, so that means here we are representing nothing but here we are representing many to one. Okay, this is the reports relationship. This is the fourth one. Okay, reports relationship means nothing but the same employee entity so plays the different roles. For example, maybe one of the person maybe plays the one of the person is plays the role is supervisor, and another person is plays the role is subordinate. Okay, so that means one of the employee report like as a supervisor, another employee report like as a subordinate. In the exam point of view also asking the same question in number of times. So how we are using the reports to relationship. Okay, how we are giving the single unary relationship. So if we are consider the two entities, it is a binary relationship. If we are consider the three entities, it is a ternary relationship. So if we are consider the single entity with the relationship set, so that is nothing but reports to relationship. Okay, so these are the additional features of ER model. Okay, additional features of VR model. So the first one is key constraint. We are already discussing about that. So that means when we are representing an entity, in that entity having the some attributes, in that attribute we are representing with the some underline. So that will be represents notes the key attribute or key constraint. So that means it is a primary key. If it is having the primary key, we can represent it with the single line of the rectangle. Okay. So that is nothing but key constraint. Okay, here if you are observe here, so this is the relationship instance. So an employee can works in several departments, but a department have can several employees. So works in shown figure. So that means here, so employee can works in more than one department. At the same time, department also having more than one employee. So it is nothing but many to many relationship, right? So, but if we want to have only one employee in the department, then it is an example of the key constraint. So that means what is the meaning of constraint? Constraint means nothing but a condition. So how we are representing that condition in the ER diagram. Okay. For example, if we want to do insert the condition is like this. For example, if we want to have only one employee in the department, so that means so each and every department have only one employee. Okay, so at that time of the situation we are consider, so maybe one to many. Okay, so one to many is also we can consider. Okay, if you are observe here, so consider another relationship set called the managers. So employees and departments entity set. So here department plays the managers role. So that means department manages the employees. Okay, so at this time of situation here we are representing the many departments, but here only one. Why? Because how we can observe that? So here we are not representing anything. So that's why, so this is the total participation. Okay. Here each and every department have only one manager. The restriction each department have only one manager is an example of key constraint. So if we want to maintain one employee for the each and every department, then we can insert like this. Okay. So that means each and every department have only one employee. Okay. But each and every employee having more than one department. Okay. So the restriction indicated in the above ER diagram, using an arrow from the departments to managers, such department have can only one manager. Okay. So this is the relationship instance. So we are all discussing about this, and this is the ternary relationship. So that means when we are consider the more than two entities with the relationship set, or exactly three entities, so that can be also referred as a ternary relationship. So that means in this type of situation, this attribute will be records the information about the employees and departments, and the location relationship will be maintained in the since attribute. So if you observe here, so in this is the one of the entity set, and this is one entity set, and this is a one entity set, and this is a one entity set. So now, so this employee 3666 employee works in the 51 department from 3393 in Rome. Okay, in the same way, another employee works in the 56 department. Okay, from 2292, and his location is Rome. So maybe the same person. So maybe using another location. Okay, if you are observe here, so that means each and every employee status. So or maybe information. So in which area he is working in that particular department and which area. So we can observe by using the instance relationship. This is the second one. So third one is participation constraints. How we are representing the participation. So participation means here we are consider so partial participation or total participation. If it is a total participation, we can represent with the double lines from the relationship set or thick line also. Okay. If you are observe here, so shows both the figure 2.10. Okay. So in the ER diagram shows both the managers and works in the relationship set and all the given constraints. If the participation of an entity set in the relationship set is total, so that means whenever the particular entity set uh, having the total participation, then we can represent with the double lines. The two are connected by thick line. So in this diagram here we are representing the thick line. Okay, so actually we are representing with the double lines. So independently, the presence of an arrow indicates of a key constraint. The instance of works in and manages shown figure. So 2.3 and 2.7 satisfy all the constraints. So in the previous diagrams also we are observing that. So if you observe here, so here many departments, but here one employee. But in the case of works in relationship, many to many. Why? Because here we are not representing anything or one to one. Okay. So if we are representing the arrow is from like from this side, so that means it is a many, but it is one. Okay. So that means it is a one to many. Okay. Next one is the weak entities. So an entity set, an attribute does not have a primary key, then it can be referred as a weak entity set. So how we are representing that? So double lines of the rectangle or thick line also of the rectangle also. So here if you are observe here, so dependents having the attribute is person name or maybe p name. So and another one is yes. So if we are consider in the some entity set, so most of the attributes are, so most of the members having the same name. I'm right. So maybe the chance, maybe for example, Razu is having more than one person. So Lakshmi is having more than one person. I'm right. So in this type of way, so we can't uniquely identify the particular records of the employee. So at that time of the situation, we need to based upon another entity set to identify the actual record. Okay. So at that time of the situation here, we are representing the relationship is also like this. So if you are representing the double rectangle or maybe thick rectangle, so both are same, but better you try to represent the double rectangle, double diamond symbol here. And this is the double rectangle. And this one is total participation. So nothing but so double lines and representing the arrow also. Okay, if you are observe here, so the key attribute is represented with the dashed lines. So that means it is a not a primary key. So just it is a partial key. Okay, if you are observe here, here we are representing the strong line. So or maybe the solid line. So it will be represents the primary key. Okay. So a dependent is an example of weak entity set. A weak entity can be identified uniquely only by considering the sum of attributes in conjunction with the primary key of the another entity, which is called identifying the owner. So that means when we are conjunction with the another entity, then we can identify the records in the dependents. Okay. So the following restriction must hold: the owner entity set and weak entity set must participate one to many relationship. So that means one owner entity is associated with one or more weak entities. So that means if you are observe here, so when we are representing the relationship is like this. Okay, so that means it is a, so this is the one, but this is many. So that means this is the total participation. This is only one. So that means one to many. If the arrow is here, for example, that means it is many. This one is one. That is many to one. Okay, we try to discuss in the next classes. We try to giving the more clarity about the cardinality. So that means one to many to one, many to many. Okay, so we try to consider some examples also. In that examples, maybe you are having the clarity about that. Okay, so next one is the class hierarchies. So in the last class, we are discussing all these topics. So what we are discussing up to now? So the first one is key constraint. So how we are representing the key constraint? So in that ellipse, we are representing the underline. Second one, so relationship instance. So that will be used for to maintain the information about the entities in the relationship set. Okay, so that is nothing but relationship instance. So next one is the participation. So whether it is a total participation or partial participation, how we are representing that. Okay, and if it is a total participation but it is a weak entity set, then how we can retrieve the records from that particular entity set. How we can identify the records by using identify relationship at the same time. So we can conjunction with the primary key of the entity. Am I right? So, and another thing is we are consider the ternary relationship, binary relationship, reports to relationship. Okay. So all these are we are consider up to now. So now we are discussing about the class hierarchies. So that means here we are consider the different types of hierarchies. Hierarchy means either so maybe top to bottom or bottom to top. So that means one sequence is followed. For example, in our college hierarchy is principal, HOD, so next faculty, next technician, next students, next attendance. Am I right? So this type of hierarchy is followed. If you are follows the hierarchy from bottom to top, so then it is a reverse order. Am I right? So that means class hierarchy means here we are consider two types of classes. So one is the parent class and another one is the sub or maybe the child class or maybe base class or maybe the subclass. Okay. So if you observe here, the to classify the entities in entity set into the subclass, entity is known as class hierarchy. So that means when we are entities considered as a class, then if we are divide that type of entities into some other entities, so then that type of entities or subclasses can be referred as class hierarchies. Okay, to classify the entities is an entity set into subclass entity. So that means entity can be divided into the subclass entities. So that can be referred as class hierarchies. For example, so we might want to classify employees entity set into the subclasses. Entirely entities, hourly employees, and another one is the contract employees. So that means actually employees is an entity. Now that employees entity set can be divided into the two types of entities. So that is one is the contract employees, sorry, yes, hourly employees, and another one is the contract employees. Okay, if you are observed that diagram, This is the employee entity set. Okay, so this one by having the some attributes, and this will be divided into the two attributes. So when we are dividing the class hierarchy, so please remember this is the symbol. So we can use the triangle like this. At the same time we can use the reverse triangle also. Okay, better you try to represent like this. Okay, here we are consider the two types of relationships. So one is the generalization and another is the specialization. So what is the meaning of generalization and specialization means? If we are combine the everyone, so that is nothing but a generalization. So if it is a, we need to separate the classes. So then that is nothing but a specialization. So we also know about this in the general terms. For example, if it is a general hospital, so it will be suitable for handle every type of disease. For example, it is able to giving the solution about fever, cough, am I right? So or maybe some body pains. So if it is a general hospital, so it will be giving the solution about each and every type of the problem. So why? Because here we are combine all patients, am I right? So but if it is a eye specialist or maybe eye hospital, so then it is not suitable to handle the heart, it is not suitable to handle the skin, it is not suitable for handle the some particular thing, am I right or not? So that means if it is a generalization, so nothing but combining the classes from base class to the subclasses. Or maybe we can combine the base class subclasses to the main class. So that is nothing but a generalization. So in the case of specialization, we are dividing from the main class to the subclasses. Okay, for example, in the case of for example, specialization means, for example, I think maybe you are having the clarity, right? So for example, maybe we are studying something. For example, maybe we are studying MTech. So then the first question is, in which specialization you are doing the MTech, am I right? So that means only some particular subjects only studied in the MTech. So that's why asking specialization. But in the case of BTech, not asking the specialization, just only asking the branch. Okay. So that means in the case of BTech, you are studying all subjects regarding that particular branch. But in the case of MTech, you are studying only one or two subjects. So that's why asking the specialization. Okay. In the case of PhD, so asking what is the specialization. So that means just only we are concentrated upon only one topic. So that means here we are dividing the main classes into subclasses. So that procedure can be referred as a specialization. If you are combining the subclasses to the main class, so it is a generalization. Simple. Okay. So in the exam point of view, asking about what is the specialization, what is the generalization like this, then you can here we representation is same, but explanation is different. If we are explaining from main class to the subclasses, it is a specialization. If you are explaining from subclasses to main class, it is nothing but a generalization. Okay. So if you observe here, this is the class hierarchy. So where subclass attributes is A, so read as is A. So superclass attributes. So that means, so it will be represents. So the above one is the superclass, and these are the subclasses. Okay. Superclass attributes indicating easy relationship. Inheritance concept. So what is the meaning of inheritance? So we can inherit the properties from base class to the subclasses. So that means whatever it may be, the attributes are assigned to the employees entity set. So those are also belonging to the hourly employees, at the same time contract employees also. But these are different from, so there may be IDs. For example, maybe our employee having the some ID, contract employee having the some ID, but these two are having the SSN and name and lot. Okay. So another one, therefore the attributes defined for our employee entity set are attributes of our employee plus attributes of employees, because subclass can have the superclass properties. So we also know about that. So we're already studied in the object oriented programming. So what is the inheritance, am I right? So inherit the properties from base class to the subclasses. So subclasses can able to use the attributes of base class also. Okay, likewise, the attributes defined for the contract employee set attributes contract employee plus attributes of employees. Okay, so a class hierarchy, specialization. So just I'm mentioning about that. Okay, so an employee is specialized into subclasses. Specialization is a process of identifying the subsets of an entity set, the superclass, okay, that share some distinguishing characteristics. Here superclass is defined first, subclasses are defined next, the subclass specific attributes and relationship sets are then added. So that means, so in the specialization, first of all we are specifying the main class, so next we are specifying the subclasses. So that means here, so we are explaining from main class to the subclasses. For example, maybe we are for example maybe engineering student, okay, or maybe CSC engineering. So that is the branch. In that branch maybe we are considered some subject, for example maybe artificial intelligence. Okay, so in that in subject, so we are dividing another topic, so that is maybe robots. Okay, so now we are dividing the from main class to the subclasses. So nothing but here we are defining main class first, next defining the subclass. So that type of property can be referred as a specialization. Okay. So next generalization. So this is the reverse for the specialization. So that means first define the subclasses, next we are define the main class. So generalization is a process of identifying the some generalized characteristics of collection of entity sets and creating new entity set that contains entities processing these common characteristics. Here the subclasses are defined first. Next superclass is defined next. Okay, for example, if you are observe here, so if it is a specialization, so first we specify the employees. Next, in that employees, maybe consider the two categories: our employees, contract employees. So if you are giving the explanation like this, it is a specialization. In the case of generalization, first define the subclasses. So that means first of all, different types of employees are there. Our employees, contract employees. We can combine into a employees. So that type of explanation is generalization. Okay, so please remember this. And here occurring some problems also. So when we are based upon the class hierarchies, so we need to care about the constraints. So here, so two types of constraints are considered here: overlap constraints and another one is the covering constraints. I think the name is implies. Overlap constraints means nothing but these constraints overlap with the another constraints. So in some type of situations, so when we are consider the hierarchies from main class to the subclasses, so then maybe the chance some constraints are overlap. So which type of cases are occur? Okay, if you observe here, so overlap constraints are determine whether two subclasses are allowed to contain the same entity. So that means, so for example, overlap constraints are determine whether the two subclasses are allowed to contain the same entity. So here verifying whether it is having the same entity or not. For example, can Akbar both hourly employee or maybe the contract employee? So here you are consider one person. So then maybe that person is belonging to the hour employee, at the same time contract employee also. So the answer is no. Why? Because here we are if it is possible, we need not to divide two. Am right? For example, engineering is a so one stream. So in that stream, we are dividing the two branches. So CSC and ECE and triple E. But here, so CSC is not equal to the ECE, ECE is not equal to the triple E. Am I right? So that means, so maybe in the CSC, it will be having some other subjects. So in the same way, ECE is also having some subjects. Here also, we are dividing the employees into our employees and contract employees. So if we are consider the Akbar, so maybe he is belonging to the our employee or maybe the contract employee. Am I right? So he is not belonging to the both. Okay, but other example, Akbar is a both contract employee, at the same time he is a senior employee. So maybe the chance, I'm right or not. So at this time of situation occurring the problem. So here some types of constraints are overlapped here. So we need to care about that. So thus this is the specialization hierarchy property. We denote this by writing contract employees overlaps senior employees. So that means here we need to care about, so this type of attributes. We need to indicate another attribute. So that is senior employee. So here senior employee is mixed with the contract employee, but that is not mixed with the hourly employee. So in some type of situations, maybe the chance in the case of our employee also. Okay, so we need to consider the another attribute, that is senior employees. Then there is no problem. I'm right. I hope all of the members able to understood. So overlapped constraints means these constraints overlapped with the some other attributes. So at this time of situation, we can't identify clearly. So which type of attribute it is. So in the case of our employee entities, we are dividing the two types of entities. So one is the our employees and another one is the contract employees. But any one of the person is not belonging to the both. So maybe he is belonging to this entity or maybe that entity. Am I right? So if any time of the situation, so maybe he is a contract employee, but maybe the chance he is senior employee also. So at that time of the situation occurring the problem, so we need to care about that attribute. We need to create if that attribute is needed, so we can create that attribute also. So then that type of problem is not occurred. So another one is covering constraints. So covering constraints determine whether the entities in the subclasses collectively include all entities in the superclass. So that means here covering. So whether it is cover or not. So here we are verifying from the subclasses to the superclass. So should every employee entity be a our employee or maybe the contract employee? The answer is no. So he can daily employ also. Okay. Other example, should every motor vehicle? So that means here we are consider motor vehicle is nothing but a superclass. So from that superclass, we are dividing the subclass. Maybe it is a bike or maybe car or maybe bus. Okay. So it is a belonging to the some superclass. So now it is considering the properties, whether whatever it may be considering the some constraints in the subclass. So maybe the constraint is also applicable in the superclass or not. So that can be verified in the covering constraints. So thus generalization hierarchy's property is that every instance of superclass is an instance of subclass. We denote this by writing bikes and cars cover the motor vehicles. So that means in the case of first case, here we are verifying the subclasses. Here we are verifying combining the subclasses to the main class. Okay. So these are the very important topics in the exam point of view in the when we are considering the year diagram. So another one is the aggregation. Okay, so I will try to explain clearly in the next class. If I'm okay, don't worry about this. So all these are the additional features of ER data model. Okay, first one is the key constraint, relationship instance, total participation, weak entity. Okay, and another one is here just we are discussing about this class hierarchies, generalization or maybe specialization, and another one is the aggregation. So what is the meaning of aggregation? So aggregation is also same like as ternary relationship, but this the main purpose of using the aggregation is to inspecting the entities relationship. For example, maybe so student is one entity, faculty is one entity, and these two entities having the relationship is teach the subject. I'm right. So for example, now I'm teaching the subject to the students. I'm right or not? So now I'm taking the class. So maybe a particular subject DBMS is handled for to the section one. Am I right or not? So one of the entities faculty and another entity is students. So now the relationship between these two entities is so it may be teaching the subject. Am I right? So now whether this faculty is properly teaching the subject to the students or not, that that thing will be verified by another entity set. So that is aggregation. Okay, here the type of the role may be performed by HOD sir or maybe the principal sir. Am I right or not? So the those type of persons having the responsibility. So whether the classes are conducted properly in the proper way or not. So that is the responsibility of HOD and principal. So the type of entity is verifying the relationship of two entity sets. If you observe here, I will try to explain through diagram. So if you observe here, so projects so handled by the departments. Okay, so that means these departments sponsor the projects. Okay, so that means these departments are creating some projects. So each and every project having some ID and at the same time that name and some budget is also there, and each and every department is having some attributes. Now whether these departments properly doing the projects or not, that verified by some other employee. So if you are consider here, this is the students and this is the faculty. Faculty is teaching the subject to the students. Now, whether the faculty is properly teaching the subject or not, that is verified by or monitored by HOD or principal sir. So that means aggregation means so verifying the relationship or maybe so inspecting the relationship. So whether it is properly done or not. So in the same way, so whether the students are listen the class in the proper way or not, that is also verified by so another entity, that is nothing but a aggregation that can be represented dashed lines like this. So and this relationship is monitor. Okay, that is nothing but referred as a aggregation. So if you observe here, so used when we have to model the relationship. So that means here we need to model the relationship. For example, maybe one employee works in the department, but we don't know whether that employee is properly working in that department or not. So that's why we try to assign some head of the department. Then that head of the department will be verify so whether that employee is properly working in the department or not, whether he is coming to the department in the proper time or not, whether he is doing the things in the proper way or not. So that means one of the person is there to performing the monitoring whether that relationship is properly maintained or not. So that type of the thing will be done by using the aggregation, and that thing will be represented by using this dashed lines. Okay, so that means here we need to model the relationship. Aggregation allows us to indicate that relationship set. So identified through dashed box participates in the another relationship set. So aggregation allows the relationship set to be treated as an entity set for the purposes of participation in other relationship sets. So this illustrated in the figure with the dashed box around the sponsors. So the effectively allows us to treat sponsor as an entity set, the purpose of defining the monitors relationship set. Okay. So we try to discuss about the remaining topics in the next class, and I will try to, if I'm having the possibility, if you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. So otherwise, we can end the session today. If you're having any type of the problems, you can ask me now. So otherwise, we can end the session. And I want to say one thing. So most of the members not is joining in the classes in the proper way. If you are not maintaining the proper attendance, so then maybe the chance. So maybe may not be having the chance to promote into the next year. So definitely you should be maintain the 75% attendance. So most of the members regularly absent to the college, and maybe they are not listening the classes also. If you are doing these things, maybe these things are harm to be only you. Okay, so at this time of situation, we can't handle the classes directly. So you don't feel bored. So better you try to understand the situation and try to cooperate the situation also. Okay. And if you're not listening the classes in the proper way, that is not good for you. So it will be giving the impact on your percentage, at the same time your knowledge. So this is your responsibility. So no one is caring about your responsibilities, I think. Why? Because you are all of the person, all of the members are matured persons. So no one is caring about your responsibility. So whether you are attending the classes or not, whether you are listening the classes or not, whether you are following the classes or not, so you having the responsibility that. Okay. So if you're having any type of the doubts, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I will end the session today. So if you're having any type of the doubts, you can contact me personally also. No problem. Okay. So my end the session now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. So we'll try to meet in the next class.